They found him delirious, clawing at the sand, screaming about a city of gold and shadows. For centuries, ancient Egyptians spoke of Punt, a land overflowing with incense, exotic animals, and untold riches. Pharaohs sent expeditions to this land of the gods, returning with treasures beyond measure. But then, silence. Punt vanished from the maps, swallowed by the mist of time. Was it a real place, or a pharaoh's fever dream? Some say its riches were cursed, protected by ancient spirits, waiting to unleash their wrath on any who dare disturb their slumber. From the heart of the ancient world, a whisper echoes across millennia. A ghost in the sands, a phantom fragrance on the desert wind. We speak of Punt. Not a myth, not a legend, but a land that breathed, traded, and vanished, leaving behind only tantalizing clues etched into the very stones of Egypt. For centuries, the story of Punt has been relegated to the realm of myth. A fantastical kingdom of spices, exotic animals, and untold riches, seemingly dreamt up by the pharaohs themselves. But the truth, as so often in Africa, is far stranger, far more compelling than fiction. Our tale begins, not in Punt itself, for we have yet to find it, but in the magnificent temples and tombs that line the Nile. Here, in the vibrant murals and meticulously carved reliefs, the Egyptians immortalized their encounters with this mysterious land. We see ships, laden with treasures, returning from Punt. Frankincense and myrrh, ebony and ivory, gold and animal skins, a cornucopia of goods that fueled the Egyptian economy and enriched their culture. Queen Hatshepsut, the female pharaoh who ruled Egypt around 1479 to 1458 BC, commissioned the most detailed depiction of Punt we possess. Her temple at Deir el-Bahri, near Luxor, showcases a full-scale expedition to this fabled land. We see the Puntites themselves, their unique dwellings raised on stilts, their leaders greeting the Egyptian delegation with open arms. The detail is astonishing. So accurate, in fact, that botanists have identified specific species of trees and plants depicted in the reliefs, providing invaluable clues to Punt's possible location. But the location remains frustratingly elusive. Historians and archaeologists have scoured the coast of Somalia, Eritrea, and Sudan, searching for physical evidence that matches the Egyptian descriptions. Some believe Punt lay in the highlands of Ethiopia, others point to the Arabian Peninsula. The debate rages on, fueled by scant evidence and conflicting interpretations. And that is the problem. The Egyptians, meticulous record keepers as they were, never explicitly stated where Punt was located. They described its riches, its people, its customs, but the map remained unfurled. Why? Perhaps it was a matter of strategic advantage. By keeping the location of Punt a secret, the Egyptians could maintain a monopoly on its valuable resources, preventing rival kingdoms from gaining access. Or perhaps, the answer is far more unsettling. Consider the nature of the goods that the Egyptians sought from Punt. Spices, incense, exotic animals. All valuable commodities, yes, but also ingredients. Ingredients used in ancient Egyptian rituals. Rituals designed to, well, let's just say they dabbled in things best left unexplored. Think about the baboons brought back from Punt. Often shown accompanying the souls of the dead, guiding them through the underworld. Could these animals have been more than mere pets or status symbols? Could they have been spirit guides? Vessels for something far older, something far darker. The ancient Egyptians believed in deities with animal heads. Did they truly consider these animals sacred, or sources of power? Now, consider the year 1167 BC. During the reign of Pharaoh Ramesses III, Egypt faced a series of devastating invasions. The Sea Peoples, as they were known, swept across the Mediterranean, destroying entire civilizations in their wake. But, curiously, Egypt survived. Some even say that the pharaoh survived the attack via a mysterious, dark ritual taught to him during a trade expedition to Punt. Was it just military prowess? Or did some of the ingredients brought back from Punt, play a role in Egypt's survival? And what of Punt itself? Why did this vibrant trading partner disappear from the historical record? Did a natural disaster wipe it off the map? Or did something else, something far more sinister, consume it from within? Because, you see, the Egyptians weren't just trading with Punt. They were learning from it. Taking its secrets, its knowledge, its very essence, back to the banks of the Nile. And the deeper we dig, the more we find hints of a very grim reality. A reality that suggests Punt wasn't just a land of riches, but a wellspring of something far more powerful, and infinitely more dangerous, death. Chapter 2, The Evidence. They say history whispers its secrets to those who listen closely. But sometimes, history screams. And nowhere does it scream louder than from the cursed tomb of Tutankhamun. In 1922, Howard Carter, a British Egyptologist, made the discovery of the century. Unearthing the boy king's nearly intact tomb in the Valley of the Kings. The world was captivated. This was the golden age of Egyptology, a fever dream of pharaohs and hidden treasure. But the dream soon turned into a nightmare. Lord Carnarvon, the wealthy financier who funded Carter's expedition, was the first to fall. Just months after the tomb's opening, he died in Cairo, reportedly from an infected mosquito bite. The official cause: pneumonia. But the whisper started almost immediately. Tales of a curse, of ancient magic unleashed. A local legend about the pharaoh's wrath. The newspapers ran wild. Stories circulated of Carnarvon's dog back in England howling and dying at the very moment of his master's demise. Far-fetched, perhaps. But the deaths kept coming. Within a decade, several others connected to the excavation met untimely ends. Arthur Mace, a member of Carter's team who helped open the burial chamber, died in 1928 under mysterious circumstances. George G. Goodeye, an American financier who visited the tomb, died only months later. Even Carter's personal secretary, Richard Bethel, was found dead in his bed in 1929. The press labeled it the curse of the pharaohs. A terrifying idea, that disturbing the rest of a long-dead king could unleash a supernatural force. But science, of course, sought a more rational explanation. Many dismissed the curse as coincidence, attributing the deaths to natural causes, diseases prevalent in Egypt at the time, or simply advanced age. Some researchers even proposed that toxic molds within the tomb could have contributed to the illnesses. It was a convenient story, a comforting blanket of logic. But consider this. A statistical study conducted in the 1990s examined the lifespans of those present at the tomb opening versus those who were merely connected to the excavation. The results were unsettling. Those directly involved in opening the sarcophagus had a significantly lower average lifespan than those who were not. Was it merely chance? Simple bad luck? Or was there something more sinister at play? Something we still don't fully understand. Some primal force protecting the secrets of the ancient world. And if such a curse could protect a pharaoh's tomb, what power might have guarded the location of Punt, the lost land of wonders? Could the reason we can't find it be, because we aren't meant to? In the heart of Tanzania lies a place so otherworldly, so haunting, it feels as though it belongs to another realm. Lake Natron, a shallow, alkaline lake nestled at the base of the East African Rift Valley, is a natural phenomenon that defies logic and chills the soul. Its waters, rich in sodium carbonate and other minerals, are so caustic they can burn the skin and eyes of any creature that dares to enter. But it's not just the lethal chemistry that makes Lake Natron terrifying, it's what it does to life itself. This lake doesn't just kill, it preserves. It turns animals into stone. In 2013, photographer Nick Brandt captured images that shocked the world. Along the shoreline, he discovered perfectly preserved carcasses of birds, bats, and even larger animals like flamingos, their bodies eerily calcified, as if frozen in time. The lake's waters, with a pH as high as 10.5, comparable to household ammonia, strip away flesh and replace it with a mineral coating, leaving behind ghostly statues of the creatures that once lived. These macabre sculptures stand as silent witnesses to the lake's unforgiving power. But Lake Natron isn't just a death trap, it's also a cradle of life. The lake is home to one of the world's largest breeding grounds for lesser flamingos, who thrive in its hostile waters thanks to their uniquely adapted bodies. Over 2.5 million flamingos flock here annually, feeding on the algae that flourish in the lake's extreme conditions. For them, Natron is a sanctuary. For almost everything else, it's a tomb. The lake's origins are as mysterious as its effects. Formed over millennia by volcanic activity, it's fed by mineral-rich hot springs and rainwater. Its surface often shimmers with an otherworldly red hue, caused by salt-loving microorganisms called halokia. This surreal landscape has drawn comparisons to the biblical concept of hell, a place where life and death coexist in a delicate, terrifying balance. So why does Lake Natron matter in the search for Punt, the lost city that fueled ancient Egypt's wealth? Here's where the mystery deepens. The Egyptians revered the afterlife, preserving their dead with meticulous care. Could Lake Natron's petrifying properties have inspired their mummification practices? Some scholars believe so. The Egyptians were known to import natron, a similar mineral compound, from distant lands for embalming. Could Punt, their most valuable trading partner, have been a source of this sacred substance? But there's more. In 2020, archaeologists discovered ancient Egyptian artifacts near Lake Natron, including beads and pottery fragments dating back to the Old Kingdom, around 2600 BC. These findings suggest that the Egyptians may have ventured far into East Africa, possibly in search of natron or other trade goods. Could Lake Natron hold the key to unlocking the secrets of Punt? Here's the twist. Recent satellite imagery has revealed strange, geometric patterns beneath Lake Natron's surface, structures that don't appear natural. Could this be remnants of an ancient civilization, swallowed by the lake's rising waters? And if so, could Punt, the legendary land of gold, incense, and mystery, lie buried beneath this deadly, stone-making lake? The truth remains hidden, preserved like the calcified creatures along its shore. Lake Natron is more than a natural wonder, it's a haunting reminder that Africa's mysteries are as deep as its waters, and as enduring as stone. The search for Punt continues, but perhaps the answers we seek are already here, waiting to be uncovered, in the heart of Tanzania's most terrifying phenomenon.